Welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio from Stewards Planning Group. Stewards Planning Group is a company that specializes in helping you build purposeful retirement plans, custom plans that not only help clients steward their treasure, but also their time and talent as well. They believe if you're taken care of financially, you can go even further to make the family, community, and kingdom impact you truly desire to make, which is the ultimate purpose of wealth. If you'd like to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting with one of their financial advisors, please give them a call at 222-4236. You can request a meeting at stewardsplanning.com, or you can simply stop by their office on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. I'm your host, Ben Taatjes, and joined today in the studio with Claire Molden. Claire, how are you?
Hey Ben, I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good too. Hey, you are getting close to sending some kids back to school, right?
Yes, it's kind of bittersweet in our household. I am more than ready to send them back to school. They are less than ready. So we've been practicing on getting up this week.
Getting up and getting going on time. And yeah, no, we're doing the same thing, Claire. My senior starts school here in a week or so, and then my oldest is a sophomore going out to Bethel, and we're taking a niece there too. And man, time flies. And I can remember when the kids were young and the excitement around school, and now it's for me. It's a little bit bittersweet for sure for Megan and I as we get close to that. And I think today's show, we're going to talk about education a little bit. We're going to talk about what stewardship really means to education. And I look at stewardship as the managing of resources with wisdom and purpose. And it's not for just us, but it's also for the next generation. And education is one of those great stewardship investments that people make, and it helps shape families and lives and communities. And education is something that we think is really, really important and not to be taken for granted. I know you've had some recent work in publishing some articles on our and blogs regarding 529 plans and kind of the importance of them. But why don't you just cover a few points from either changes recently. We've been talking the last few shows about the One Big Beautiful Bill, and there were a few changes in there. Maybe just cover a little bit about when you think about 529 plans and the changes going on, what should our listeners be thinking about?
Sure. So first of all, you kind of threw out some terms there that maybe some people aren't necessarily aware of. So you talked about the 529 plan. So that's kind of the premier college savings vehicle kind of in our industry. There's some tax advantages and some tax savings to utilizing the 529 plan, but that's going to be putting away funds that the intent is for college, for higher education. And there's been some legislation recently and in the last couple of years that's really expanded the use of a 529. So it's really made it more robust and more flexible, which I really, really like. So when I sit down with clients and say, what are your feelings towards college savings? I'm going to get a lot of different reactions. Some are going to say, I want to make sure that we are covering every penny of that college expense for our kids. And we go to the other spectrum where it's like, well, maybe they won't go to college. I don't want to put a bunch of money away if I don't know that that's for sure. So, and then there's people in the middle. So a 529 really kind of covers the whole gamut there. So you put money away, it grows tax-free as long as it's used for educational purposes. And like I said before, it's really kind of expanded what it can be used for. Going back to the Secure Act, it allowed for the use of the funds for K-12 tuition and education. And recently, you've been able to roll unused funds into a Roth IRA. So that kind of solves that question with, well, what if they don't go to college and what if they don't use it? Well, you can do a lifetime max of $35,000 into a Roth IRA. So that's really kind of promotes even more savings by moving it from college savings plan to a retirement plan.
That's amazing. I think that's the one that, it wasn't new to this, the recent bill, but that's one with Secure 2.0.
Right.
That change, we've been talking about so many clients with that, because that, you're exactly right. That's what comes up. It's like, well, what if little Johnny doesn't go to college, and what if he wants to go into the trades? Let's say he wants to do something, just start working. Well, now, since 2024, families can now roll that right into a Roth IRA, which I love that feature. That has been a game changer for people, saying, yeah, let's forget this. It kind of removes the fear of oversaving and allows you to invest with confidence, maybe, and gives them, the option down the road should they not go to college.
Yeah, absolutely. And then with the most recent legislation, with the One Big Beautiful Bill, or I like to call it the OBBB, it expands the use of those 529 funds for K-12, because you can use it towards textbooks, tutoring, standardized tests, and it also increases the limit that you can use for K-12 starting next year in 2026. Right now it's $10,000 that you can use per year to pull out for K-12 purposes, but it's going to increase to $20,000. So that's a huge game changer for those that are using the 529 for K-12 expenses. And then it also expands it past even college. So the new law also adds post-secondary credentialing, like certifications, licenses, exams, continuing education, and other costs. So think of, our industry, the financial services industry, we have to get credentialed all the time. And that's expensive. And sometimes the employer won't pay for it. Now you have an option to use your 529 to further your education, further your credentialing.
Well, we're just too late on, because you, a few years ago, got your certified financial planner. It could have been used
absolutely
now for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Love it. Well, that's great. So I think, kind of putting, wrapping up our show today, Claire, you and I have talked about this before. We both value education. Education is one of those great stewardship investments people make. And I love being able to talk through that with you as we kind of look forward to, you with a different stage of life, young kids, my daughters being older and getting actually using their 529. So trust me, it works. You just put the money away over long periods of time. And now we've got an account there to dip into when they are going to college. So part of stewardship is managing resources with wisdom and purpose. And I think a great purpose for money can be education, shaping lives, families, and communities to come. So from all of us at Stewards Planning Group, until next week, steward well.
Do you need help stewarding your time, your talent, or your treasure? If so, Stewards Planning Group can help. Now is the time to set up a no-cost, no-obligation meeting. You can do this one of three ways. Number one, give them a call right now at 222-4236. You can request a meeting online at stewardsplanning.com, or you can just stop by their office located on 19th Avenue Southwest in Wilmer. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Time, Talent, Treasure Radio. We'll see you next time.
Securities offered through Avantax Investment Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Avantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through an Avantax affiliated insurance agency.